Hey, thank you guys for tuning in all the way up to this point of the episode. And do not click away just yet. This is an incredible interview. Me and Dan Giancola have been trying to do this interview for so long. My life is gotten busy. His life has gotten busy. And then to finally have him on the last episode for the summer, the Daniel Federico show, we have author and two-time Grey Cup champion, Dan Giancola. How are you doing today?
Good, brother. You know what, man? To this day, anytime somebody says that the football things are good, but man, when you say author, man, that messes me up.
Of course, it's always going to be like, oh, I'm not a football player anymore. I'm an
Author, man, I
author.
don't even read. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
But if you guys didn't know, he's the author of Be That One. Why does it have to be someone else? Why not me? And you have a fitness training center called BTO, and BTO stands for Be That One.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
absolutely. 100% spot on. And I got my clothing line too, Be That One. So yeah,
Yes.
man. It's all
Yes.
about BTO.
100%. Yeah, you got 100 things going on. How has your life been since, let's go all the way back, since you retired football?
Yeah.
How has your life been?
You know, man, one of the hardest things to do after see professional football, there's a lifespan on it. As a player, as a coach, I'm sure at some point you retire, you get old, yada yada yada. But one of the hardest things to do as a professional athlete, I believe in any sport, is at some point walk away from the game. And I think what most of the guys have trouble with is you'll hear this from so many athletes. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's about the guys in the locker room, the guys in the huddle, the guys on the field, the guy who's to go to war with you every Sunday, Saturday, whatever league you're playing in. The crowds, meeting people, signing autographs, being a role model. Like these are all the things that meant so much to me.
Yeah.
So for that little bit, bro, honestly, it was a hard transition. But I didn't have as hard as time as a lot of guys do. And for me, I got into the fitness. Fitness was actually always my first love. It's always a passion, and it just came second nature to me. And, having done that since the age of 17, and here I am now, 54 years old. And it's one of those things where you can do this for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think at some point, you get to be 70 years old and you're in a room and you're yelling at young bucks like you and, come on, let's go, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, I think, maybe it might be time to throw it in, but, I'm enjoying, man. I'm enjoying every minute of it. I got my fitness studio, like you said, in Thorold, and it means so much to me. We've been in business for 12 years. I've been a personal trainer for 20 years. And this is just such a rewarding job.
Yeah.
And I got to rephrase that because it's not a job. It's I come here and I play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you doing these podcasts, you're not sitting there going, okay, guys, let's go, man, get everything together. We got to get this job going.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah. You're not doing
when
that.
I hooked up with you guys on the couch and we did that thing, man, there was no job there. It was a bunch of dudes sitting on the couch and you're doing what you love to do.
Exactly.
And so I'm doing what I love to do.
Exactly. And then now you have this book. How has it been since the release of the books? And we're going to talk about your media run. One of the greatest historic media runs I've ever seen.
Insane.
But how has it been since the release of this book?
Surreal. That's the word, bro. Surreal. Like when I wrote this book, and this is the God honest truth. Initially, I wanted to do this book when I was playing football. I had a binder. I don't know computer or anything like that. I was just starting to write.
Yeah.
And just like everything else in my life, when I don't know the way to do it, it goes to the wayside.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're probably going to touch on this, but I had my heart attack 2020 and I almost died from it. And realization, I should have died from it. And realization that life was so precious. I was like, wow, man, my wheels started to turn. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Even with the heart attack, I was still putting it off.
Oh.
Then 2022, I had a massive stroke right here in this studio. And I should have died from that. And that's when it hit me. Man, it's twice, man. And God pulled you out of it. And that's it. That's all. And Daniel, honest to God, dude, after that, I was like, man, I got to do this. So January 3rd, last year, I made a decision. I said, okay, man, I'm going to start this. One of my clients lended me their laptop. And I just started going. And all of a sudden, man, I hit that wall again. I'm like, man, like, I don't read. I don't know how to organize this thing, man. I don't know chapter to chapter. I don't know where the first chapter starts and the next one. So I just started writing things down. I mean, somewhere in here, I actually have that piece of paper. Right here, bro. Imagine that. Honest to God, dude. So the first time I ever showed anybody, I just started writing things down.
That's awesome.
Potential, be that one, points to use in book and inspiration. And then boom, boom, boom. And I just started writing shit down.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I contacted Perry Lefko of the Toronto Sun. Yeah. And a dear friend of mine covered me my whole career. And I said, Perry, listen, I want to write this book, CFL, blah, 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 blah. He goes, dude, I'd love to help you. Do me a favor. Send me a chapter. So I sent him a chapter that I thought this is what I was going to start my book with. We were playing the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Third game of the year, my rookie year. Long story short, I kick a game-winning field goal.
I was just about to say game-winning field goal.
Right?
Third career professional football game.
Football start, right? It was a 42-yard field goal from the left hash. He reads it. He responds back, bro, as he's reading it, he says, traditionally CFL books don't sell well.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read it for you. And you know what? I'll critique it for you. I'll give you a hint every now and then. And I said, okay. Anyway, fast forward, he said to me, Dan, do me a favor. I want you to write a chapter about your heart attack. I'm like, dude,
why?
This I want to write a book about my career and beating the odds.
Yeah.
He says, can you do me a favor? Could you just do that? Hey, listen, I'm not going to argue with him. Okay. I write it to him. Send it to him. He sends me a message verbatim and he says, Dan, okay, I'll do it. So I'm like, oh, great. All right, man. He's going to edit my couple chapters. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Great start.
Screenshot it, send it to my wife. Perry's going to, oh my God, babe. Perry's going to, edit my couple chapters. She goes, babe, I would read that again.
Oh.
And I'm like, so I read it again. She goes, I don't think he's talking about the chapter. I think he's going to do your book. So I'm like, nah.
No way. It can't be true.
No chance. Why would he? Yeah. I mean, he did Doug Flutie, Nick Kiprios, and the list goes on. He's got a list of NHL players.
He's one of the most iconic, if people don't know it, he's one of the most iconic journalists in Canada.
Exactly, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I message him and I said, dude, listen, I got to ask you a question. I just reread what you wrote me. Are you talking about doing a chapter or are you talking about doing the book? He says to me, I'll do it. I'm like, I still don't know what you're saying, dude. He goes, I'll do the book, but it's got to include your heart attack and your stroke.
Got the meaningful things in there. And yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He wants it all in there. He wants it about
Just look at the cover.
exactly what I wanted it to be.
Just for the people like just watching this, just look at the cover, just behind Dan, or look on, or go buy it on Amazon. Yeah. Plug, go just look at the cover.
Exactly, right? So the top part was about beating the odds on the football field, not going to college, university, beating the odds, went to 131 free agent camps over 9 years, not taking no for an answer, 29-year-old rookie. The other part of it, and when I say this to you, they're both emotional.
Yeah.
The other part of it is beating the odds in life.
Yes.
And surviving the Widowmaker, and then having a level 17 massive stroke where I should have been dead within 45 minutes of the stroke. And then to boot, in all that, throw in PTSD, anxiety, depression, right?
Yeah.
And
serious
man, so yeah.
It's when I read this book, it's just like, and I don't read much. For the viewers at home, they know that I don't read much. I read
I'm right there with you.
And I know when this book came out, early last year. Early this year, right?
Last year. Came out in November. No, okay. November 7th on Amazon.
Yes, late last year. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
I'm telling a bunch of my friends, just especially the guys we did the podcast with on the couch. I go, Dan Giancola's book is coming out, and we have to read this. This is a story that I think, like, I even gave it to my dad. My dad read it. He loves it.
Oh, that's cool.
He still remembers you from I don't know if you remember this, but you actually do remember this. Your daughter went to Notre Dame Elementary.
Yes.
Yes, and my whole family went to Notre Dame Elementary. So my dad remembers you when we were all like little and stuff like that.
And go in there and picking up my daughter and all that there. Yes. Yeah. That's crazy.
So when I told him about this book and I told my friends about it, they all wanted to read it. Or they so even like my friends, they're not big readers too. They wanted me to tell them and describe the book to them because they think this is an incredible story. My dad loves this story. This is great. This is probably for the people at home. I'm trying to say is get this book. And this will change how you think about. If you can't be like, if you want to do something, do it. Beat the odds. Don't say no. Like, don't take no as an answer. Just continue doing what you got to do. Like when I honestly, after I read this book, I kind of compare it to my life right now. I'm trying my hardest to be on TV, to do sports, to do a lot of sports.
Right.
To even just working in sports. And then I have probably had so many no's in my life that for jobs, I just keep on going. Right now I did this. Now I do this. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm right now talking to you literally in the exact same region. We live in the same region, the Niagara region.
Yeah.
And probably one of the faces beating the odds. It's incredible. And your story is inspirational.
I appreciate it, buddy. I mean, there's a big story, and I mean, I don't know how much time we have on this, but a lot of people, what they don't understand is where the Be That One actually came from, and the actual story behind it. And how long do we have? Like, just so I know, I can maybe speed through it.
Well, we have at least 20 more minutes, so you got time.
Okay, I'm going to zip through this literally in 5 minutes. Okay. So after chasing my dream to play, a lot of people don't realize it, and it's in the book that I actually signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, that was your first team.
That was my first team, right? So anyway, long story short, I'm getting on the plane. I get on the plane. My wife, still my girlfriend at the time, she's in the airport, and I'm on the plane. Next thing you know, the stewardess says, "Well, Dan Giancola, please come to the front of the plane." I go to the front of the plane thinking, oh my God, something's in my bag, somebody, whatever, something's wrong.
Yeah.
He said to me, Mr. Giancola, we need you to go back to boarding, and a gentleman will come there and explain it to you. Again, fast forward, the guy came over there and I said, hey man, is there anything wrong with my stuff? Like, anything happened? And he said to me, Mr. Giancola, I guess apparently the Saskatchewan Roughriders called, and they said that, they no longer need your service. Paul McCallum is coming back from the World League. crushed.
Yeah.
Crushed. So next thing I know, I'm in the car driving home, devastated. I go home. The next day comes, and I decided, well, I'm home and I still want to play, so I'm going to go to, take off and go back to my semi-pro team in Buffalo. So I go there. The guys all look at me. At that point, we were like a big knit family, man. You're playing in the hood, playing with all these guys who just play for the love of the game. Semi-pro is completely a glorified,
Men's league.
Right, And they were just looking at me in total disbelief. Yeah, okay, dude, you were going to go to Saskatchewan, blah, 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 blah. It was all over the papers.
Yeah.
It was even on the local Cogeco. I drove home. I get home. I hear my dad on the phone with my cousin. And he heard me walk in. He started talking Italian. And little did he know, I understood Italian because my grandmother used to always speak Italian. So next thing you know, I remember my dad saying, he's really starting to embarrass me. I love him. He's my son. But I work with his girlfriend's dad. He's been dating her for 9 years. It's embarrassing when I see him. I wish he would just give up this dream. And that broke me. The next day I go to my college, Niagara College. Instead of going to class, I go up in the mezzanine, and I think I got there about 3:00. And next thing you know, man, it was about 7:30, 8:00 at night. It was dark. And I was just coming down. I beat the living hell out of myself. I get down to the bottom of the stairs. I look to my left, and there's the fitness coordinator putting a poster up on the wall. I don't know if you saw that in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a poster up on the wall, and it said, 1 in 100,000 student athletes will ever play a professional sport. So stay in school.
Yeah.
Dude, that cut was so deep. It was so deep. Because I'm thinking to myself while I'm reading it, 1 in 100,000 student athletes. I'm not even a student athlete. So what the hell? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
What are my chances? If it's 1 in 100,000 student athletes, what is it? 1 in a million? 1 in 10 million? What is it?
1 in a trillion.
Right? I grab that poster, I rip it off the wall, and race home. I grab that poster, and I put it beside another poster in my bedroom. And that poster is entitled Determination. It's not whether you get knocked down, but rather if you get back up again.
Yeah.
And out of every one of those 131 free agent camps that I went to, and every one of those that everybody said they were going to call me and never called me, that's where my tears were left, with that poster.
Yeah.
Because I said, I'm entitled to feel the way I want today, but tomorrow is a new day.
Yeah. Brand new day, new challenge.
Brand new day.
New start.
So next thing you know, I get up, I go over to my desk in my bedroom. My dad made me. I grabbed the poster and I put it up on the wall, and I put it right beside Determination. And I read it again. 1 in 100,000 student athletes will ever play a professional sport, so stay in school. And I thought to myself, and it's got honest truth. So Bon Jovi's my favorite band.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't know why it came about me. I thought to myself, why him?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I understand what made him special. He's a hell of a performer. He's a good-looking guy. Great band, great rock. Everything just happened the way it happened. Everybody's got their own story.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I started thinking to myself, why does it always have to be someone else?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I read that poster one more time, Dan. I walked over to the desk and I grabbed a black marker and I stood in front of the poster and I read it one last time. 1 in 100,000 student athletes will ever play a professional sport, to stay in school. I grabbed the marker. I put a big X through 1 in 100,000, and I wrote "Be That One." Those were I got every time I tell this story,
Give
dude.
me chills too.
I get chills. Those were three of the most powerful words I've ever spoken. Be
100%.
that one. And I swear to God, in that moment, I was not going to stop until somebody gave me a shot.
Yeah.
Off the rest is history. Next year, 1999, I signed in Toronto. I had the year of my life.
Have one of the best rookie seasons.
Yeah. Insane, man.
Yeah.
Insane. I tied the league for scoring. I tied the league for most field goal attempts, most field goal made. I was up for Canadian Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Special Teams Player of the Year. And I never won.
Yeah.
Dude,
But still being up there.
Store the year before.
And everything changed in a year.
Right?
Because you just didn't stop. And that's what a lot of people need to know. It's just keep on kicking. It doesn't matter when you start.
Yeah.
It does not matter when you start. Just keep on going. And your career's
Keep on going, man.
just keep on going. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And
So yeah.
in that rookie season, actually, I was so sorry to cut you off. In that rookie season, didn't you almost break a record?
I was 4 or 5 points shy of breaking the rookie scoring record. Ray Macaretta, I think his last name was Ray Macaretta.
Sure,
I think he was a kicker with Edmonton.
Yeah.
I was 5 points shy, man. I went for 5 for 5 in field goals against the Eskimos in our last game. And I had no idea, dude. Nobody said nothing to me. I knew nothing. And thank the good Lord I did it, because I probably would have shit my pants and I probably wouldn't have did as well as I did. Yeah, man. What an honor. What an incredible year. And yeah.
What an incredible turning event from 1 year to 1 year later. Just you never gave up. You literally never gave up. And do you think things would have switched if that poster never got put up? Do you think things would have stayed the same, or would have switched? Would have that?
Yeah, no. You know what, bro? Honestly, because I finally had my chance in Saskatchewan, and you've gone 8 years of everybody saying no, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, like everybody was turning their back on me.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think the sad part, and it really is, and I see it to this day with so many people just in general, chasing whatever dream it is, like for you to be on TV. And so many people are so critical of it.
Yeah.
And they find it to involve themselves in a way of like, am I okay to swear on this thing?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I'll tell you, there was a time where you see the board right here behind me. I was talking to my buddies, and I worked out for an arena team. I think it was I can't remember. I think it was New Jersey, New York. We were at the Knickerbocker Albany Firebirds. They were
okay.
Arena team.
Yeah.
I come home, I got the hat and everything. I'm super excited, and I tell my boys, I'm sitting here like this, talking to them. Hey guys, and dude, I got about this far away from like I am right now. And I remember one of my buddies saying to me, or not saying to me, behind my back, I don't think he knew how loud he said it. He said, "What a fucking loser."
That's tough.
And I was devastated, bro. These are my boys since I played soccer with them as a kid.
Yeah.
Like kids, we grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
And, between my dad saying that he was starting to get really embarrassed by everything, and my buddies are calling me effing losers. Man, you want to talk about a knife in the back, and you just kind of like, I can understand my dad because he's my dad.
Yeah.
They love you unconditionally, right?
Yes.
But here, your son's 29 years old, and one day I want to play professional football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're 29.
Yeah.
Dude, your brother's playing. How old's your brother?
27.
Okay, so he's 27 years old. How many years has he played?
This is his third season.
Third season. He's been playing since he's 23.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. I hope he has a long career. But realistically, in any league, 5 years is the window.
Yeah.
Here I am walking into this thing at the age of 29.
Walking into literally the dark, just walking into nothing.
I was a rookie with the Buffalo Bills at 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I get it. I do understand it. But at the same time, I think when it comes to your friends and your family, you kind of hope that they would be a little more supportive. But unfortunately, it wasn't always that way.
And it is tough though. It is tough, especially when your friends say something. But I think when your parents, how your dad said it, how he went to go speak in Italian because he didn't want you to hear it, kind of was some. I think it is some good, but there's obviously still some. It's very bad.
Right.
Because he didn't want to tell you straight up because he doesn't want. What is it? He didn't want to seem like he was the reason why you would give up on your dream or whatever. He just felt a little embarrassed because your 29-year-old son. Everyone
29 years old. You're
everyone else has full-time jobs, and you're
right. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's hard. It's hard, bro.
It's hard. But you also want that. So you would never expect it though. You would always just want to be like, hey, you keep on go killing it. You keep on go trying. Keep on trying. But that honestly pushes you to go harder. And what do you think if he never said that, and if your friends never said anything like that, and that poster was never put up, we probably would not be. You probably wouldn't have a book right now. You probably wouldn't have a career.
Like, I
don't know. I'm
like
sorry if that
say,
sounded like bad or anything. I'm sorry if that
No. Because I've always believed that life is like the letter Y.
Yeah.
Where she goes like this.
Two paths.
And we also could even go even further back and say, if I actually would have got good marks in school and I would have went and played university football, what's to say that I don't go play a Hall of Fame career in the NFL?
Yeah.
I mean, I coached myself. I had nobody helping me. Yeah. The first time anybody helped me with anything was Doug Blevins, who came from the Miami Dolphins when I was in Toronto. Yeah. That was the first time I ever had a kicking coach.
Yeah.
And I'm in the pros. It's kind of late, but I mean, it helped.
Yeah.
And so you never know, man. You never know. Like life, there's so many things in there where life could have went that way.
Yeah.
And thank God it went this way. So
it's honestly, it's a good thing how everything unfolded too, because it makes a great book. It makes a great story. It makes you great everything. It adds texture, it adds character to everything, and then you went on and had a great career. Two great. Not many people actually know about your two great cups because you won one with BC and Toronto.
Won BC and Toronto.
Yeah.
I ended up on the practice roster at the end of the season in BC. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, when you're on the practice roster, you don't get your name on the Grey Cup. Mm-hmm. And then in Toronto, and it's funny because when I was in BC and that all went down and I was home and they won the Grey Cup, I was entitled to a ring. I played 9 games with the team, and so that you're entitled to a ring. At least those were the rules then. That's back in 2000. We're talking 24 years later.
Yeah.
But it was also, I ended on the practice roster.
Yeah.
So not only you're not on the Grey Cup,
mm-hmm.
but you're also not entitled to a Grey Cup ring.
Yeah.
And that's up to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they, so on paper, I've won the Grey Cup in BC.
Yeah. On favor. Right? Yeah. That's why I always say. That's why I always say it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The Argos, same thing, man. I filled in for Pre at the end of the season. He had a concussion, and Pre really wanted to play. And I said, Pre, whatever you want to do, bro. I mean, that's on you. I'm here in case. I played against, I believe, Hamilton and Montreal, and the last couple games, and then they went to the Grey Cup. And I'll never forget. Pinball said to me, he said, "Hey, Clutch, we're bringing you." And I'm like, "Oh, that's fantastic, dude." So next thing you know, I'm going with Toronto, and I'll never forget that moment, bro. I'll never forget being on the stage. That's when it got real for me.
Yeah.
And the tears, bro. I just remember, next thing you know, they hand us the Grey Cup, and I'm standing right beside Damon. Couple guys from Damon, and the guys started jumping around like, and like the platform was. I'm going, we're gonna die. And I remember, bro, you hear the cannons go off.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all you see is the blue and the gray confetti falling from the sky. And I'm looking across, and I can see the fans through there. And I just remember saying to myself, "Oh my God, I did it." And it was the most surreal moment. And to hoist the cup up, and thank God I did.
Yeah.
Because it was the only picture that somebody snapped. And that's actually in the book. Yeah.
Is this the
right
only
there
picture?
on the book? So that is the only picture that was snapped. And thank God they used a really good camera for it. So I was able to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what an amazing feeling, bro. I mean, and I really pray to God. I saw your brother, I believe, is out in Montreal now. So
Yeah,
he's got a really good chance, man. And I really hope he gets that opportunity to live his dream, man. Because I mean, he's already living his dream.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
That's one part of the dream. The other part is one of the Grey Cup.
Of course, right? So, mission. And then, the crazy part is when you win, it's never good enough. Now I want 2 rings.
Yeah, you want another one. You want 10.
You want another.
You want like Tom Brady. You want Tom Brady.
You want to fill the fingers, right? So, I'm a big fan of your brother, and I really hope to God that he gets that opportunity.
I think he will. Thank you for saying that. It's been a tough road. I can't say it right now because of he's in the season. I don't want to talk about other CFL teams, but since when he got cut from the Tiger Cats this past training camp, he had no idea what to do. He was just working out. He got the call from Montreal, and he was like, "Let's do it. Let's play some football."
I got cut in Toronto before I went back in '99, right?
Yeah.
They cut me after my first game, a preseason game. And then by the grace of God, they brought me back and everything worked out. So you never know.
Now you never know. But what I want to talk about now is your incredible media run. Just to say a couple of shows that you went on Breakfast Television, and you went on the Rod Pedersen show. The reason why I'm saying the Rod Pedersen show is because I watched the Rod Pedersen show a lot, and I really like him. I think he's a great personality to have in Canada. Yeah. But how has this whole media run been for you?
Dude, it was like being in my rookie year again. Every city I went to, and I know I pissed off so many guys because they used to make so much fun of me. Every city I went into, everybody wanted to know about the grocery clerk, turn pro. So, and then even when I was in the Grey Cup in Ottawa with Toronto, we beat BC. I wasn't even playing. There's pictures of me on the bike throwing the ball up there. I had a construction hat on. They were always, and then they did a double page spread in the Toronto Star. And I was just like, wow. So when this happened, it went insane. So one day on Amazon, So I guess apparently on Amazon, 1,000 books is considered a bestseller.
Yeah.
We sold 1,200 books the first night. So next thing you know, we were in number 1 in American football, number 1 in professional football, recovery, new release. I was number 1 in newest release, most gifted. So people wanting it gifted for like Christmas. It was insane. Mm-hmm. So next thing you know, I started doing podcasts.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, man, I got to sell my book.
Yeah, let's go.
I got to treat this exactly like I did playing football.
Right.
Free agency. I got to get out there and I got to hustle.
Yep.
Next thing you know, man, Kojiko calls me. A Kojiko calls me. So I do something with Kojiko. Then it turns into the Rod Peterson show. Then it turns into Jim Tilley show. Then it turns into CHCH with Bubba O'Neill.
Oh, yes. The sports.
Then it turns, and then next thing you know, breakfast television calls, and I'm like, no, like, dude, it was Sid Zero, and Sid used to be with Headline Sports, and he used to interview me all the time.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest. I was actually shocked, by the way, that he switched from Sportsnet to breakfast television because he's one of the
you know why? Because he's vocal.
Yeah, very vocal.
He's vocal, and that's ultimately what it is.
But I miss watching him on SportsCenter in the morning and his radio show. He's honestly going to go down as one of the best.
Oh yeah, business. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, no, he called me right away. Then the producer called me and said, "We just need you to fill out some things, yada yada yada, and set the date." And I'm like, "Oh wow!" So we get in the car, man, I would get this. So I'm going on at. I think I was going on at 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere. I was in Toronto at 7 a.m. So I'm literally sitting in the tunnel for literally, not lying to you, bro. I'm sitting in the tunnel for 2 hours. And finally, my wife and my daughter and Mitchell, my daughter's boyfriend, we were all just sitting there, and they're like, come on, let's just go. So we go, we get there. And anyway, we get up, they take us into the green room, and I listened to him talking about how I'm coming up next. And he said so many nice things.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm on breakfast television. We sold, in that 7-minute span, we sold 2,900 books. Legit, bro. Legit. So then right after that, I went back on the Rod Peterson show. He's like, dude, I want to talk about how good the book's doing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I saw that one. I didn't watch the first time you went on.
Did you miss the first one?
I missed it because when I'm at school and in the studio, I'm not really on my phone that much.
Yeah.
When you were there live, I think I watched clips of it when he how he reposts his slideshow. I watched it, but I did watch the second one. And Rod Peterson, even though he's in Florida, not a lot of people know that he's in Florida and how he talks about
sports.
He used to be with, I believe, CBC Sports. Back in the day. I think when the CFO was on CBC back in the day. He loves covering Canadian football, and I love it.
He didn't even question it, dude. He called the producer. Producer emailed me again. He said, if he even remotely says yes, he's on. That was it. Perfect. That was it, bro. Easy. Next thing you know, I'm on the show, and I was just like, wow. And so when I say to you, like a rock star on tour, it has been crazy. I had to scale back because my studio, it really lost a lot of momentum, because basically from January 3rd to the end of October, it was all about the book.
Yeah.
So literally every second I get, I'm over here on the computer, okay, chapter, send it to Perry. Chapter, send it to Perry.
Yeah.
And then it's, you just don't, it's not just you write the book.
Yeah.
Then he starts sending you chapters back. And he's like, I need you to add more here. I need more here. You need to talk about this. I think we should take this out. It's too much. Initially, dude, my original was 420 pages and 50 chapters. I left nothing out.
Perfect. That's what we like.
And we condensed it to,
what is it now?
I don't know how many chapters is it?
Let's check. The chapters, I'm pretty sure, is,
I think it's 25.
25 chapters and
234
pages. A lot of work to do.
So a lot of that shit was so everybody wants me to write a second book, but there's too much happening right now. Way too much happening. So I need to focus on what needs to be done right now for this book, because when I say to you there's a lot of stuff happening, there's a lot of stuff happening.
100%. Yeah, you got a whole gym, you got a family, and you got this book. Your whole world is packed. When was the last time you basically had a free day to yourself? Because you're always in the gym, you're always doing the book. Even before
You know
that,
what, bro?
7 days a week.
We even missed a vacation this year because my mother-in-law passed away in February, and so that was really rough. And every year we go to the cottage, and that was always my mother-in-law and father-in-law's favorite thing. And
Yeah.
my father-in-law passed away around about 12 years ago now, 13 years ago, and my mother-in-law just passed away in February. And so I, from a selfish standpoint, I really wanted to go because I need a break. I
Yeah.
need a break. But with that said, I did understand.
Yeah.
And so, but you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan. I really can't afford any time off. You know, between trying to get this studio pumping again, and then so much is going on with this book. Um, man, it's I'm from here. I'm going home. I got to clean up here, so I'm probably going to get out of here probably about 10. Just to let you know, this is my life.
Yeah.
I'm leaving here about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night because I got to clean up my studio. I got to disinfect everything. You know, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I go home. I go to bed about 11. I got to get up about 6 o'clock because I got to get a bunch of books together.
Yeah.
And I got to do class from 9 to 10. And then I'm racing out of here and I'm going to Etobicoke. And I'm doing a podcast with this guy. He's called Toronto Mike.
Toronto. I think I've actually heard about Toronto Mike. I think I've heard
So
about.
I'm going on tomorrow with Toronto Mike, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I mean when I say to you, like, you got to grind.
Got to grind.
If you want it, this is what I did for football. So all I'm doing, dude, what I did for football, I
Yeah.
applied to my studio.
And that's
what I did in studio. I'm taking it. I said, okay, now I got to do this with my book.
mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's all about the grind. When everybody is out, you know, excuse me, going on vacation, going to the bars, whatever it is, go play softball,
Mm-hmm.
you're grinding. You're getting in a car and you're driving, you know, an hour and a half tomorrow when, you know, my daughter wants to go to the Peach Festival tomorrow. My wife's got to work and all that. And I'm like, okay, but I got to go there. I got to go to Toronto first. When I get home, I'll probably be in the house for 5 minutes.
And then we're going to the Peach.
And we're going to the Peach Festival tomorrow in Grimsby, Winona.
There we go.
So
see, it never stops, but it's very rewarding.
It is.
It's just look at everyone around you, especially. And I'm honest, you can say this. The amount of support you've had from the Niagara region. I would say not even Niagara region. I say from Canada. The amount of support you've had from Canada, it must feel so rewarding.
You know, I'm truly blessed, humbled, grateful, gratitude. When I played that game, bro, I played that game wearing my heart on my sleeve. I was always, ain't nobody going to tell me different. Nobody can ever say anything to me because I know.
Yeah.
I was always the last one to leave any stadium, whether it be Skydome, Iverwin, whatever they call it now, Tim Hortons, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, BC, Calgary, you name it. Edmonton, I was always the last one to leave the field. When I was in Buffalo, that was one of the big reasons why a lot of them were pissed off at me. Because I would stay afterwards and I stayed to sign the last autographs.
Yeah.
And it does my heart so warm to see guys like, you know, Josh, who is Alan, who's exactly, you know, like that, where he stays and he signs. I mean, that's, and listen, I understand. I was Dan Giancola and I was a story for sure. No question about it. But there was Doug Flutie's of the world.
Yeah.
There was Eric Molds of the world.
Yeah.
For all, you know, all these superstars. And they were so monumental. Like, they were such great mentors to me. Yeah. They really were. Flutie was amazing with me. And then there was a lot of guys that were kind of like, who does he think he is? It's like,
Jealous.
what do you mean? Who do I think I am? I'm a Buffalo Bill. I'm a Buffalo Bill. These people that are all here pay my salary. These people here
got to give back to them.
Daniel, they were bussing them in. Mm-hmm. There was 50,000 people a day. They would bus in 25,000 people in the morning practice and another 25,000 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you think for 1 minute that I'm not going to stay? Where do I got to go? Where do I got to go?
You guys are basically, I don't know how training.
I got to go take a shower and I got to go to a meeting at 9:00 at night.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm a kicker. You know what I mean? So, but again, it's so nice to see that, especially in Buffalo, because that's the team I really pay attention to. Obviously, it's my favorite team, always will be.
Yeah.
But it just does my heart so warm watching the NFL, the CFL giving back to the community, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a great thing, and we really like seeing you be successful with this book, because it's like I said, I've said it a million times, and just in this episode alone, it's a great story. It's an incredible story, and I really enjoyed reading it. But I have a question for you. You ever gonna do a book signing in Niagara Falls?
You know what, man? I just did one at Chapters.
Oh, you did one at Chapters?
And,
I missed it.
So they've actually mentioned, but I don't know where to go in Niagara Falls. That's the only thing. I want to do one in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
I just don't know where to go in Niagara Falls. They mentioned Kohl's at the Penn Center.
Okay, yeah.
And they mentioned, I think there was another bookstore. I don't remember where, but I believe it's in St. Catharines. But I don't say no to anybody.
If you ever do it, let me know. I want to come there.
Totally, bro. Totally.
Also, I saw that you were training with the Dennis Morris football team.
Yeah.
Kids, how was that giving back to your old high school?
Dude, when I got there, I legit the coach came over and talked to me right away. And he was thanking me up and down. And I said this is exactly what I said to him. I said, Coach, do me a favor. Can you just give me 5 minutes? You got to appreciate. Mm-hmm. That was the first time I've been on that field since I played the last game in my senior, and we won a championship. I believe we beat Holy Cross.
Okay. Wow.
And if it wasn't for that moment on that field with my best friend going out there and kicking a couple rubber footballs and the senior coach seeing me, remember we talked about this?
Oh, yeah.
That was a moment in time, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm literally standing on this field. I look over and I see the tower, the old tower. I don't even know if they still use it, where they do film and all that. And I was like, oh my God, nothing's changed. Even the uprights are still the same. And I was like, holy God. And then they asked me to talk to the guys. And I remember the coach said to me, he goes, Dan, I'm being totally honest with you. Both coach said this. We've been at this for about a month now. And we're trying to light a firecracker under these guys' asses.
Yeah. When
you were done talking to them, I have never seen this team fly around like they were. And basically, it was me talking about my book.
Yeah.
About chasing my dream for football. Then also talked about the value of life.
Yeah.
And and I made it very clear to them. I don't care how old you are. Kids are dying young.
Yeah.
Heart attacks, strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Guys my age.
Yeah.
And what I tried to make sure that I said to them was, in both cases, when I had that massive heart attack and I had that massive stroke, I woke up both times in the morning, and having a fantastic day like I am right now.
Yeah.
And by the day's end, I was in the ICU fighting for my life.
Just switch just like that.
So if we at any point think that we are Superman, which is no problem, it's great to think that, but just understand one thing: Superman had his kryptonite,
Did. Yeah.
and it could be anything, bro. It
Mm.
could be anything. And by the grace of God, I'm still here, and I've done something really special that is legitimately now going. When I say to you the next level, it's going to the next level. And I'm very grateful, man. I'm very grateful.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's all the time we have to say. But just for what just for the people back at home, do you want to say anything to anybody? Shout them out. Shout anybody.
You know what, man? I know you got a decent amount of people that tune into you. And I wanna just say this. Take it from me. Life is short. You never know when God's gonna, and I don't care what you believe in. I'm just telling you from my standpoint who I believe in. You never know when God rings the bell and says, it's your time. And everything that you wanted to do will never happen. And I heard a quote somebody said one time, actually it was Les Brown, a motivational speaker. And he talked about the cemetery is full of dreams that never lived. So many people that have died and buried their dreams with them because either they were too scared or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this to you, Dan. This one's for you, bro.
Thank you.
If that's what you want to do, bro, don't ever let anybody tell you no. If it's a passion, chase it with everything you have within you.
100%.
Always remember, and your brother will tell you, there will always be somebody out there trying to outwork you.
Yeah.
Somebody who's faster, somebody who's stronger, somebody who is better than what you're doing. But the key to success is to grind.
Yeah.
And make your craft numero uno and go for it. And that's my advice to everybody out there, baby. Dreams come true. And I'll be nobody going to you tell them if they say to you that dreams don't come true, you can tell them to come talk to me because here's
I got you. Yeah,
bro. It's not only living his journey once, but survive this twice. So, hey, and stay tuned. There's some amazing things happening, bro. You know.
Oh, I know. Well, thank you, Dan, for coming on. It's a great time talking to you, and have a great rest of your day.